Hello there, this is Ed McCarty. Welcome to HoofNit Podcast with everything horses and livestock.
Hello, everyone. This is Melissa Cowan.
And this is Jana Harrington-Barkus.
And we're with HoofNit Podcast with Everything Horses and Livestock magazine.
And we are out here on location at Equifest of Kansas 2023 here in Salina, Kansas.
Hey, I'm with Ed Brower from the Wichita Mounted Police Patrol. Is that what it is?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, Ed, would you tell us how you got started in the mounted units?
Well, our original mounted unit, they started back in 1990, and it was formed by officers that just owned their own horses, their own trucks and trailers, because we have an event in Wichita called River Festival, where up to 100,000 people could show up on one day, amusement rides and all kind of concerts and fireworks, so huge crowds. So they wanted mounted officers, so officers with horses had their own resources, formed a team. They were properly trained, and they did that for years. It was till the late 90s when the city actually assumed a budget and started buying their own horses, trucks and trailers, paying for the boarding of the horses, and had their own, took all financial responsibility for the unit. And so now we're 2023, and we've got 8 horses on the unit, 2 trucks and trailers, and they pay for all the boarding and vet care and everything, full care for the horses that way.
Oh, well, that worked out great,
Yes.
didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when you started, how did you get involved in it yourself?
Well, I had horses of my own and been active in horses. And then when I saw, mounted police, so as soon as I was eligible, I put in for, to be in the process, to be a mounted officer. And they take it's on like a matrix, a system, how it scores with your evaluations, your seniority. They take and consider any discipline. And you also have a writing practical. And then an oral board where you sit down in front of a panel of people and they ask you questions and you do it that way.
Wow, they go to a lot of detail, don't they?
We try to make it as fair as possible.
Yeah.
For somebody. So,
well, how long did it take you to get there?
My second time, I finally got on.
Oh, yay!
Yeah. So, and that was 20 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
So I've been doing that for 20 years. I've been on the police department for 31.
Oh my goodness.
So 11 years into my career, I got on the mounted unit.
Wow.
And currently I'm the commander of the mounted unit.
And you love it now.
Yes, I love it.
You?
And we've actually been able to expand up. I've got 24 officers on
Really?
the unit. So we have 3 teams of 8 that we have, which we have so many activations, and we do. We've got an entertainment district in Wichita called Old Town, and it's a bunch of old buildings they fixed up, and they put nice clubs and nice restaurants and all kinds of a museum down there.
I
really
know what
cool.
You're talking about.
And it's all brick streets, and it's really cool.
Cool. It is
and
cool.
And at late night they block off the streets so the cars, keep the cars away. So it's just foot traffic, and then the horses. We're down there from about 10:30 till about 2:30 in the morning with the horses every Friday and Saturday, because whenever you have people that consume alcohol, sometimes they make poor decisions. Yes. And people don't believe. They go, "What do you do down there?" Because usually you don't see a whole lot of chaos. But that time between 1:30 and 2 o'clock when the clubs close down.
Yeah, that's when
and
the
people
chaos
have been drinking
begins.
all night, and you have 300 here, 400 here, 200 here. Well, that's 900 people that come out on one street and another street over here. So it's kind of like for 15, 20 minutes, like Mardi Gras. All those people. And
I can imagine.
It's usually the safest place because we've got plenty of officers, plenty of mounted officers down there. But from time to time, if there is a problem, how do you get through those people and render aid? Or if there's a disturbance, how do we break it up? And that's where the horses come in and work perfectly for that, because we can do it safe. Because if you've seen our horses, we've got our regular horses are large.
Okay,
and then we've got our Clydesdales, which are huge.
Oh, you ride Clydesdales out there?
Oh, yes.
Oh, my word.
So, yeah, makes a huge impact.
Yes.
I always call it kind of shock and awe. It's one thing to have a horse. They go, whoa. But you see a Clydesdale, you go, whoa. Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah,
so
that is a
it really
big
gets
deal.
them. It really gets them to move. And it's mostly 99% intimidation, because the average person are pretty afraid of horses. Because they're just huge. And a Clydesdale, when you're up close to them, they're ginormous. And we've got some pretty big guys. So it's able to move the crowd safely, get everybody to their cars, and everybody gets home safely and as well.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool what you do.
Oh, yeah.
And now you guys go in pairs or
yes.
four
Yeah, we
of
always work in pairs. It's safer, like 2 officers when you make calls.
Yes.
You always have a partner with you. Well, we do the same thing for horses, and it's even better with horses. Horses are a herd animal, so they love, and they're so much better in pairs as well.
They are.
So a horse
wanna
is
be
so much
friends.
stronger, here. There's a few horses that are just super alphas that just by themselves, they do whatever they want. But most horses are much better with a partner. And it's safer for police. So we work that way. We operate with a partner, 2 horses. We pair them up. And usually we have 4 horses down there. But if it's a busy event, like I said, we've got Intrust Arena, and we've got another venue called Wave. And they have, Intrust Arena can have up to 15,000 people, and the Wave can up 5,000 or 6,000. So when one of them have a concert as well, you add those people into the mix. So on those instances, we'll activate all 8 horses.
Wow.
And have them
You
down
guys are
there.
busy.
Yes,
Really
we are, and
busy.
that's why we expanded 24 officers, 3 separate teams, because, man, it runs you ragged, working
Yeah.
every weekend and working all these events and doing
Yes,
stuff. And
I
we
can
all have normal
imagine.
jobs as well. We work on the street,
Yes.
and then we do those other deals. So having the 24 officers gives me a large enough pool that we kind of share the work a little bit and makes it
Makes
much
it
easier.
spread out.
Yes,
yeah,
it does.
I see.
Yeah.
So what are you doing here at the Equifest? What are you showing our viewers?
Well, here we're showing some of the tactics and some of the formations and things we use every day in police work. So we
Okay.
come out and we write some formations, show them how we get from point A to point B, how we can expand out, or we can contract down to single horse lines. And we do several maneuvers, and we show some of the maneuvers we use, whether we want a crowd to move to the right or move to the left, or we want to cut through the middle of the crowd, the diagonals, the wedge, and also some different formations we use to move a crowd out of a certain area. And then we kind of move into I call it horse self-defense, where we show people if we're attacked, how we defend ourselves and how we do that, as well as some of the training progressions to teach horses. Because, when we get horses, when we teach them little, the bubble, the space, because
Yes.
we don't want our horses on top
Boundaries.
of us.
Yeah,
But then we
boundaries.
get horses and we go, okay, now I want you to break these guys
Right,
fighting
break
up.
'em, yep.
So we got to train them to
Know
to
when
break
to
up those fights, when
when
to
to
use.
use it.
If we ask them to run over people, it's okay, and we don't run over them, but
I know
split them
what
up,
you mean, yeah.
And once I get a Clydesdale in between 2 combatants, there's no way they can fight because
Right.
they got 2,000-pound horse between them.
Yeah,
you
there's
can't
no
even reach
way.
around. So
Yeah.
so we have to train through that, and we show them how we do that progression. And then one of the most important things, we show them our progression we do for firearms training. We start with, whips, stock whips, cracking them, and everybody gets a whip, and we crack them and crack the whips, and the horses get used to seeing your hand outside and the pop of the whip. And then we transition to like a pellet pistol with CO2, because we can practice those at our barn in a safe environment. And they make a pop, and we practice our technique in shooting, and then we go to
This is
blanks,
gonna be cool. Yeah.
a blank firearm, and then we shoot blanks, and the horses, once they're used to the blanks after that, we're so lucky we've got a huge bomb range. We're a regional response bomb unit there in Wichita, and outside the city we've got this huge place where they blow up munitions. So they've got these huge dirt berms where we can set up targets, and we can shoot strong side and shoot weak side and work on marksmanship from horseback.
Oh, that is so awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad you guys are here showing
Oh, yeah.
everyone this.
I'm so glad
So are
to
you
show
going
all
to
that.
talk people through it? Are you the
Yes,
announcer?
I'm out on the ground just like this, like we're talking,
Okay.
and I talk about the formations and what we do and how we do them, and then even I show them extractions where we come in and there's riders on the vehicle and show them how the horses peel them off the vehicle and how we lead the vehicle out of the crowd.
Oh, that is so great. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for
Oh, thank you
coming.
for having me. We
I
love
love
to
it.
show
Yeah.
stuff, and we're pleasantly surprised because it's good stuff and it's good training for the horses. But tons of people have come up and said, "Oh my gosh, that was so cool and informative. We didn't know how you did it
people don't
we do
understand.
everything from horseback. We
Yeah.
don't get off or do everything, arrest tactics, everything we do. We never get off our horse." So
That is amazing. Oh, I'm so excited.
Good.
Well,
Yep.
viewers, you've got to come out and watch these guys. This is fascinating. Thank
and one
you.
more thing, if I will.
Yeah.
We've got one of our desensitizing clinics coming up. It's a big fundraiser for us, April 22nd and 23rd at our
Okay.
facility in Wichita, Eagle View. If you come by our booth, we've got flyers for that.
Okay.
It's a 2-day clinic, and we do a lot of the stuff we're showing, the fire, the smoke, and the firearms and all that training and crowd control and horse self-defense. We do all that over those 2 days, and it's catered to as well.
Oh, that's
cater,
wonderful.
so you get a lunch with it as well.
Well,
So-
how would our viewers get a hold of you through the internet if
Yes,
they wanted
yes.
to?
The best way to do is to go to the Wichita Police Foundation. They're the ones who organize this event, and they're sponsoring this event, and they get several sponsors that donate to the cause as well.
Okay.
But if you go to Wichita Police Foundation, there's a code there where you can click on it, and you can just register online to
There you
reserve your
go.
spot for April 22nd and 23rd.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much
Awesome.
for
Thank
joining
you.
us today.
All right.
Thank you for joining us today. Our podcast is sponsored by
Better Equine, the manufacturer of BE saddle pads.
Bee-Tree, pure and natural skin and body care products.
And Living Life Ranch, located in Gardner, Kansas.
Subscribe with us to follow our podcast, and please provide a review. We appreciate your positive feedback, which enables us to provide our free podcast to you.
Music provided by Ed Mahan. Copyrights by Everything Horses and Livestock.